ancient dwellings. 四合院. A 四合院 is a historical type of residence in China, most famously in Beijing. Throughout Chinese history, the 四合院 composition was the basic pattern used for residences, palaces, temples, monasteries, family businesses, and government offices. In ancient times, a spacious 四合院 would be occupied by a single, usually large and extended family, signifying wealth and prosperity. Today, remaining 四合院 are often still used as subdivided housing complexes. The 四合院 in Beijing is the best developed and most representative of the 四合院 architecture in North China. Adhering to the strict moral requirements of the feudal patriarchy, the Beijing 四合院 features a square and a compact design, symbolizing a strong coherence towards the center. A 四合院 has inward-facing buildings on four sides, encircling an open space in the center. Usually, there was two windows facing outwards, so the courtyard is enclosed from the outside. 宅门, the entrance gate. 影壁, normally, there's a screen wall inside the gate for privacy. Superstition holds that it also protects the wealth of the family from being exposed. 倒座房, the opposite house, is the southernmost building in 四合院. These rooms are generally for the servants. 游廊, the corridor, is the dividing line between the inner and the outer courtyards of 四合院, and the floral pendant gate is the only entrance to the inner courtyard. 厢房, the eldest son of the family and his wife would reside in the eastern side house, while the younger son and his wife would reside in the western side house. 正房, the main house in the north was assigned to the eldest member of the family, that is, the head of the family, usually grandparents. 二房, if the main house had enough rooms, a central room would serve as a shrine for ancestral worship. 后照房, unmarried daughters would always reside in a backside building behind the main house. These are some pictures of 四合院. Cave House, 窑洞, is located in northwest China. The reasons are as following. Number 1, the Loess Plateaus is located in the continental climate zone, and the weather changes quickly, and the cave house has the feature of warm in winter and cool in summer. Number 2, the general income of the residents of the Loess Plateau is relatively low, and the cost of building a cave house can save a large part of the funds. Number 3, due to the terrain of the Loess Plateau, the traffic is inconvenient. It is difficult to transport building materials. So the types are earth caves, brick caves, and stone caves. The earth caves are dug out on earthen slopes that boast the exceptional advantages of heat and sound insulation. The stone and brick caves are better looking. Hui style architecture, 徽派建筑. Anhui Province is a gem of traditional Chinese culture with extraordinary ancient architecture known as Hui style architecture. It features with white walls and grit tiles and projected horse-head walls. Now, many of the people live in the new house, but they keep repairing the old ones. Over the past years, Huangshan has implemented the ancient architecture property transfer reform to breathe new life to the city's precious cultural heritage. And over 3,300 ancient residential houses have been repaired. It's one of the most apparent features of Hui-style architecture, which is embodied in dwellings and gardens. Horse-head wall, 马头墙. The horse-head wall is generally higher than the dwellings. It can act as a fire bulkhead when adjacent dwelling is on fire to prevent the spread of fire. Memorial archway, 牌坊. Traditional Chinese memorial archway could be made of wood, brick, stone, or glaze, and is built mainly to commemorate the great achievements or loftiness of the family's ancestors. Most Chinese archways are placed in front of a tomb, temple, bridge, and ancestral hall, or along the road. Ancestral temples, 祠堂. The ancestral temple is an important social and historical phenomenon in Hui-style architecture. During Ming Dynasty, the prosperity of common economy and the emergence of capitalist production relations shocked the patriarchal governance in Huizhou, and many clans built many ancestral temples to strengthen the rule and unity of the whole family. 天井 courtyard, 天井民居. The 天井 literally means skywell, is in fact a small open-air courtyard. It can be seen in southern Anhui, northern Jiangxi, and Huizhou. As it's hot, rainy, and humid in the south, and the fact that there are too many people live in a limited place leads to the designing considerations of sheltering from sunshine, providing good ventilation, and preventing fire in the compact civilian residences. The rectangular tianjin is the center of the residence, surrounded by buildings on all four sides or three sides, which helps to block a lot of sunshine. The tall wall surrounding the courtyard speed up airflow to provide good ventilation. All the sewage gens of each house lead to courtyard, which is a design called the four streams flowing into the center hall, implying wealth stays within the family. The Mongolian yurt, 蒙古包. Round tent. The Mongolian yurt is a form of residential building created by the Mongolian herdsmen in their nomadic life. A yurt is a vaulted round tent with a pointed roof composed of wooden fences, support poles, roof rings, cover carpets, etc. Spire roof. The spire roof keeps snow and water from gathering and helps the yurt to withstand storms. Adjustable cover carpets. The cover carpets, used as walls, have adjustable thickness based on the seasons, and those near the bottom can be rolled up in hot days for good ventilation. The carpets are many white, and some are even adorned with the patterns of ruyi made of red, blue, and yellow cloth. The hanging house, 吊脚楼. The hanging house is a traditional residential building of Zhuang, Buyi, Dong ethnic groups in Guangxi and the Guizhou province. It is usually built on a considerably sloping terrain or next to a stream or a ditch. In order to make the best use of the limited space and adapt to the terrain, the house has its one side dangling behind or beside the main building with pillars propped underneath. Thus, it's hanging in mid-air. The ground floor is used as storage for firewood and tools, while people live upstairs. The front part of the second floor has good natural lighting and is a perfect place for a family to rest or do their manual work. The rear part of the second floor is the private section, where the fire pit with memorials and ancestral tablets is a good place to do some cooking and get warm. Bedrooms are located on the third floor. Usually one family lives in one hanging house. During festivals, the villagers gather in the hanging houses to entertain guests with feasts. Besides the ancient dwellings we have introduced above, there's also other different kinds, one of which is 土楼. Thank you for attending today's lesson. See you soon. Goodbye.